follow me today in the tour of the best stores in London for men's classic style. British makers, the stores that you probably don't know, the stores that are a bit high, the ones that are not in the really commercial streets, like here I have behind Massimo Dutti, Uniqlo, and it's not going to be Harrods, it's not going to be Liberty, it's not going to be John Lewis that is behind me. There are different stores, classic ones, with British makers and good quality. So let's get started. You know, a year ago I was living really close from here and I came to this park a lot, so I miss it, even though it's quite cold today, this morning. It's not going to be rainy, so I decided that I need to do some exercise before starting the day. Instead of starting in Saville Row, that we are going to be there just a bit later, I recommend to start here in Children's Street. It's a small street. At the beginning of the street there are a lot of small stores that are specialized, like only things for men. I will highlight Sunspell and New and Linwood, but there are bigger stores of these British brands in Norway later. So I started visiting John Simon's, established in 1955. They are well known for the Ivy Leaf style in the UK. They have a really nice button-down shirts made of English Oxford fabrics, and I like the coats made in the UK with a really good length. You know, nowadays most of the coats are really short, but the only thing this coat is missing is a belt. At least for me, it would be better. But they also offer a great selection of British classic brands like Jameson's knitwear or Barracuda jackets, or even different bakeable caps. If you want to know more about them, there is an excellent documentary called John Simon's A Modernist that was released a few years ago. My next stop in the street was Trunk Clothiers, a classic casual clothing brand that makes quite good knitwear made in Scotland, trousers made in Italy. They are also well known for the brands that they offer, like rain jacket and Bastard suede jackets that are really good, quite pricey, quite expensive I would say, or the made in Japan Sunray t-shirts. Of course, I'm going to show you what I'm wearing today. Today I'm wearing a double-breasted suit from Suit Supply that is quite old. I got it in 2015. They are not making this model anymore. It's a Soho pattern, flannel, 100% wool, double-breasted. I like it. It's one of my favorite suits. This scarf is from a really old vintage brand, Spanish brand. I think they are not in the business anymore. A bubble jacket and PLP shoe and some gloves because it's quite cold today. We started the day like 0 degrees when I went running. And by the way, Loro Piana socks that are terrible quality, cashmere 100%, but they are warm enough for today. And I forgot to mention my cap that is from a Spanish brand, but the fabric is a British fabric, and John Smedley knitwear. But this one is quite good, and well, quite good. It's kinda good. It's not the best, and Albert Thurston praises. And don't expect in this video the luxury brands that I have behind and in front of me. You know, like Segna, Brunello's, Gucci, Prada's, Loro Piana's, all of them are overpriced. I did reviews of some of them in my channel. Well, we have the store of Ralph Lauren just there, that is really nice, and the clothes are great. I like the style, but they are still overpriced. They are not made in the UK, so maybe you can visit the store, but don't get anything there. Our next mandatory street is Saville Row. Do you know that this small street has the biggest concentration of tailors in the world? And of course, you can visit any of the tailors of Saville Row, but if you want something different, if you want something that is still British made, but with a twist of a different style, here we have behind me drakes, and I have a good friend of mine that is working here and is going to give us a tour of the store, and he's also going to explain us the secrets and the style and everything about drakes.
As you walk in, you see the scarf wall. Drakes, of course, started as a scarf and tie manufacturer. That's part of a core product. We're famous for it. You can recognize them a mile away. So that's one of the things I think we do best.
Where are they made?
So the scarves are all made in Italy. Actually, the pure silk are printed in England, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure at the minute, off the top of my head. Bandanas, large square scarves. These are a square yard. Very, very old school measurement. Seasonal knitwear. Our cable knit Shetlands. Wool alpaca and integral collars. Okay, every season we do a few very special pieces, and our very famous 4-ply cardigans. Brass Shetlands, again another American classic, made in our own way, made in Scotland, in our own colours. Few Fair Isles, famously part of the Drake's look. Our fleeces, made from wool, again block colours, classic Ivy League sportswear aesthetic.
Which is really thick.
They're thick and warm, with and without sleeves. We do both versions. A few more knits, a bit more sportswear. Our jeans, some of our best-selling items. High rise, fuller leg than most, but with a gentle taper, nothing too oversized. Very wearable today. Most interesting collaborations, I'd say, the Rocky Mountain by Drake. So, of course, Japanese-American brand. Done in traditionally Drake's cloth. That's a Catherine Pino, which we make a lot of items in. Harris tweed. Very typically Drake. And our shirting, Oxford button downs, which I like to describe as the best American shirt made in Somerset. All in our own factory, in our own premises, as are the ties. They're all made by us in our own Canning Town workrooms. Chore jackets, again, another of our core items. Our interpretation of the classic French work jacket, which over time has become Drake's favorite. Ticket pocket, as usual, in everything Drake's. We make them in a variety of cottons, wools, duck canvas, denim, lined, unlined, heavy linen in the summer, you name it. We've made it. Suede too, actually. Some more seasonal knitwear, chunky roll necks, western shirts, and another of our signatures, the raglan coat. So oversized, very A-shaped, flowy, again, ticket pocket, classic Drake's, structural pleats at the back, the bare minimum lining that's necessary, double face at the front. Yeah, this in particular, that's a 1,000 grams a meter keeper's tweed. Absolute tank.
So it's great for the British weather.
Maybe a bit overkill also sometimes. Yeah, so the cloth, we got the cloth from the CEO of the company that we got the cloth from, came to see it. And he told me, so he's got a jacket in this. It started to fray. And it's 45 years old. So at the back of the shop, we've got the most formal section, so you can see all of our seasonal and as well as perennial tailoring. Cloth books, we offer made-to-measure tailoring. In fact, we offer made-to-measure tailoring, made-to-order shirts and made-to-order ties. You can offer pretty much almost everything we do made-to-order. Sleeveless cardigans, Drake's classic, fit neatly under a jacket, give you that extra warmth. Our tailoring, again as you would expect from Drake's, unstructured, comfortable, made in southern Italy. Patch pockets, ticket patch pockets. Classic Ivy style 3-roll 2. Fully unlined, no shoulder pad. Very light canvassing, barely any structure to it.
Made in Italy.
Made in Italy with heavy British cloth. Makes for a fantastic contrast.
Because you are the rebels of Saville Row.
The Saville Row rebels, we have Italian tailoring made with made with traditional British cloth, and it works rather well.
All right, thank you so much, Javier. And by the way, he is the made-to-measure specialist here. So if you're coming to do a suit, the made-to-measure suit is going to be with him. And that's it. Thank you so much. And just in front of Drake's, we have Gassiano making the best shoes. I would say are the best shoes with the best shape, best design, best leather in the UK. But the only problem is the price. But you can have a look. It's for free. You can try them and enjoy yourself. We are moving down through the Burlington Arcade. That it has also small stores that, in my case, I wouldn't stop at any of them. But if you want to, there are probably good things to see. James, so what are you wearing today?
This is a 20s overcoat. Anderson made in Denmark, roll neck.
Yeah, it looks really warm, which is important for today.
Like 70s Canterbury rugby shirt. 20s or 30s English, so it's got J. Crew trousers.
Outlets.
Yeah.
Cool. How would you describe your style?
Cozy. I feel like I'm wearing
Cozy.
a blanket. Yeah. Maybe a bit sarcastic, I don't know.
Okay. And would you say that the quality that we can find today, because everything that you wear or most of the things are vintage, are not the same as the quality that we have today is not the same as we used to have?
Yeah, in a way. I think, I don't know. I think in terms of trimmings and hardware and things, there's a real charm to the old stuff. I mean, I collect buttons, so I love anything with these nice early buttons on them. Yeah, I don't know. I think also you're able to get a real kind of bang for your buck. If you know your measurements, you can get something of unbelievable quality for basically nothing. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is one of the things that I love about London. It's the style that you can see also in the streets. I just ask him, would you like to be in a video? Tell him what you're wearing. And this only happened to me in London. Usually it's like 10 of 10. It's like when I ask someone like, would you like, don't you mind? And they always really happy to be in the video and sharing their passion about fashion. Not like Italy or Spain, like people are like, no, I don't want to be. I mean, I respect that, but I like it more when you just want to share your style with the rest of the people. Here we are in Piccadilly Arcade. There are also a lot of small stores that are great. And to me, the best one is the last one. Is New and Livewood, especially if you are looking for dressing silkons. And I love the designs that they have. So someday, I hope that I'm going to do a review of them in my channel. Just in the street of Jermyn St, where we have a lot of brands, British made, especially shoes. Used to be a street of shirt makers, but nowadays we only have one, which is Tarbo and Nasser, that is just there. It's where you can find the best dress shirt in the market. So let's go and try one of them. It's a really classic store and they offer a lot of different shirts, different patterns, different fabrics. And I try one of their try-ons because they don't give you the shirt that you're looking for to try. I went half size lower for my usual size, which is 15.5, and I went for the 15 size. And I would say the fit, it wasn't for me. The sleeves are a bit short, just slightly shorter that I do prefer. The fabric is great, the color is great, but I just leave it. And I usually go for made-to-measure shirts. Also in this street, John Smedley, made in the UK. Edward Green, made in the UK. Making great quality shoes. I'm not a big fan of English shoes. I think they are really good. They are really nice and well made, but in my case I do prefer Spanish shoes like TLB that I'm wearing today. It's a really nice shape. I think they are more worth it.
when we talk about shoes, I do prefer Spanish shoes like TLB or Carmina. But we also have here the store of Crockett and Jones. As you probably have seen my video about the worst brands that look good but they are not worth it, this is one of them. And I got my Crockett and Jones years ago, but I think now they are a bit overpriced and still good, but not to me. Another Crockett and Jones store. I don't know why do they have two stores, probably because they don't want competitors here. Two stores in the same street, just few steps one of the other. And also Flores here, that is really worth it to visit, at least to smell different fragrances. None of them are for me, but one of the oldest perfumers, still family business. And the last stop of this street is going to be this brand new Sunspell store, where they offer a made-to-measure service for t-shirts. So let's see. This store is the first one offering this service of bespoke. They call it bespoke, but it's more like a made-to-measure because they use like try-ons to get measurements done, and it takes up to 4 or 5 weeks, they told me. But it's a great option if you cannot find any t-shirt in the market that fits you. They are made in the UK, the ones that are made to measure, because they offer a production of Portugal and England. You know that they have both. But it's a really nice store with a lot of vintage details and a lot of things about the history of the brand. So the visit is really worth it. Really close from the British Museum, we have the store of Thomas Fardin, that they are making inspired clothes, inspired from the classics, from the 20s, from the 30s, and they are making them in the same way, same quality, same design. So it's amazing the things that they are making. If you like that kind of design, so let's have a look. They have high-rise trousers, really high-rise trousers with details that you're not going to be able to find anywhere else. But the fit, it wasn't for me. I know I get the point of 20s inspired, but it's not for me. I like the fabrics that they have, really heavy fabrics, great quality, British made. The colors of the shirts are great, the suits, everything. But what I liked more, it was the selection of hats that they have, and especially the Baker Boys caps. And I was trying few of them, and I got one that I fell in love, made of 100% silk. I'll do a review over time to see how it evolves. What's your name?
Joe,
So, what are you wearing today?
what am I wearing? I am wearing an Aquascutum vintage trench coat. I am wearing a corduroy trousers from New England. I'm wearing a pair of jumper boots from Paul Sargent. Wearing a Drake's tie. I'm wearing a Dunhill Tattersalls shirt.
Nice. How would you define your style?
My overall style is very much very traditional English, very 1920s, 30s inspired. That's where most of my looks come from.
Because you don't like the actual clothes that British are making now, or?
I just think that period, 1920s to the 1950s English style is kind of it's universal. Style changes and ebbs and flows over the course of the last century, but everyone always comes back to that touchstone. Everything comes from that point, and everyone keeps trying different things, but they always come back to that. So everything,
All the classics.
lapels go thinner, everything else, and but everything always comes back to a classic suit from 1942. It always comes back to that. Everyone uses that period as the touchstone, and inevitably everything just reverts back to that.
Amazing. And finally, one of the last stores, well, actually I think it's going to be the last store, American Classic, to try one of your recommendations, because you say that they have the best chinos. Well, they have a lot of different brands, by the way, but one of them is your recommendation. So I'm going to try them to see how is the quality, how is the fit.
So let's have a look. I was looking for the perfect classic chinos. The fabric was great, the thickness, the feeling, but the fit wasn't for me. I was trying the size 30 waist and length 33. It's the only one that they got it in the length 33 because I'm usually more 32 or depends on the brand, even 30. I am 181 centimeters tall, so I'm not the tallest guy of the room, but even though it was really baggy, really even long for me, so I'm not a big fan of really baggy fits. I know that for some people this is not baggy, it's like a kind of straight cut, but to me the straight cut is more like a 501 jeans that is more kind of more narrow, not as wider as they are. So the quality is great, but the fit is not for me. Alright, so this is part one of, I think this is going to be like a tour of many different stores that we can visit here. So I hope that you like it, and I hope also to read your comments about different brands that we can visit here in London. And also keep in mind that if you don't want to spend a lot here in London, also we have different, I mean there are a lot of different options to go with, you know, charity shops, vintage stores, but I don't have time for that. Because, you know, when you have time to visit and to be looking for different bargains in charity shops, I found £1 tie, and it was from Harrods, made in London, and in collaboration for another brand. And also I got a new limbo tie. I know my friend Javier that is working for Drake's, he got a bespoke suit that he found in a charity shop, and it was perfect for him. He just needed few alterations and it was almost brand new. So if you have time for that, you can find a lot of bargains. I'm going to visit more times London, so let's see in the next video what we are going to find. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.